Hey everyone, how's it going? Michael here, the Insightful Self. It's really late and I was just about to go to bed, but I wanted something came through and I wanted to share it. It's this yeah, I have some muscles coming in that I feel very good about and it's reminded me like this is my recovery from a severe stomach illness, just like dysentery. I was in India, in Varanasi, has the Ganges River there. It's famous for the burning bodies floating down the river and people swimming in the holy water. And it is one of the least clean waters on the planet. And you have to eat everything in Varanasi, make sure it's cooked really well. But I had been in India for a long time and I had not eaten anything fresh. I went to a Western restaurant that caters to the Western hippie tourists, and well, they had a cabbage salad on the menu, and I decided, you know what, raw fresh veggies feels really good right now. So I took a bite or two, and I had a small little inkling from my stomach, like, ooh, you know what, something feels off. But I smelled it, I tasted it, and was like everything was fine. So I like the main reason I didn't, you know, stop eating is because I paid for it and I felt bad paying for something that I wasn't going to eat to waste my money. So instead, I decided to take on dysentery because that was worth $5. Um, so yeah, that's a big life lesson. Always listen. Yeah, listen. If you have a clear intuition, wow, just stop rational thought. Stop thinking. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. If you have a clear, very clear intuition, if you feel that you have that clarity, then listen to it when it comes through. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I developed some food poisoning, nothing new. If you're traveling in Asia, Southeast Asia and abouts, you'll run into it here and there. Usually it's 1 week, 2 weeks is runs its course and you're recovering. This one kept going and kept going and kept going, and yeah, a month goes by and it's like not getting better. I start going to I do a pretty good job of taking care of myself, but I'm like, okay, what I'm doing isn't fixing it. So let me go to a went to an Ayurvedic doctor, traditional holistic Indian medicine, um, kind of following a lot of the ideology in yoga. And so anyway, I don't know, that stuff's not helping, and my body's actually kind of like feels like it's rejecting. It doesn't want that. It's like, stop it. We're trying to do something here. Like, okay. So I didn't like that. I stopped taking it. And then, still not getting better, but I'm like managing. And then I go to a different doctor. I go to a Tibetan doctor. So Tibetan in Tibetan medicine, it's kind of a lot of similarities with Ayurveda, but some differences. And I start taking that medicine. It feels better, but still not. It's not helping. It's not doing much. So then what? Then last resort. It's 2 months. I've been super sick. I became bedridden. I became like it was hard to even walk down the street. I could walk like half a mile or a kilometer and then I was like, that's it. Time to go to bed, time to sleep for 4 hours. That's the amount of energy I had. I could barely take care of myself. I was quite literally bedridden. And I went from curling like 40 pound weights to just completely I lost 40 pounds and I'm not a big guy. So I was 165, with some muscle, and then poof, I lost, like, I was down to 120 actually. So 45, oh, that's so crazy. I lost 45, yeah, 25% of my body weight. So anyway, yeah, so I was just in bed, bedridden, barely taking care of myself, just shriveling up. And so eventually I went to a Western hospital. This was in Nepal in Kathmandu, and they have some really nice public service hospitals, and the prices there are much more, I don't know, affordable. So I was able to go there, saw a doctor. I really liked him. I avoid Western medicine until the last resort. But sometimes it's amazing the science that we have, and sometimes it's the right choice. but I always think it's the last choice is what I recommend people. And went to this doctor, got an ultrasound, got my poop tested, got my blood tested, all of it for like $20, which is just amazing, prices for Westerners in these places. So everything's good. Blood's good, poop's good, ultrasound, fine for the stomach, but actually in my gallbladder, I have all these polyps that I didn't know about. And it's like important to be aware of. If they keep growing, it will be problematic. So I didn't know about that. And now I'm aware of it and I'm changing my diet a bit. I'm changing my practices. I'm getting, ultrasounds over here. So thank you, dysentery problem. You showed me another issue in my body that I'm not privy to. So now I can be aware of it and take care of that. And so amazing. So anyway, um, that happens. I take a pill. The doctor just gives me like I can't remember the name of the medicine, but basically a constipation pill. Stop pooping. It's very powerful. He says this is, take two a day for 3 days, and if you stop pooping, because like I forgot to tell you, I was pooping like 20 plus, 20, 30 times a day, all water. I couldn't hold anything, drink water, maybe eat a little bit of rice or something, and then splashy, splashy in the toilet. 20 to 30 times a day. I just, it was crazy. I also have a remarkable appreciation and admiration for my sphincter for how well it kept. I never pooped myself. So thank you, sphincter. That was amazing. It's just liquid. There's zero solidity, there's zero viscosity in any of my stool. It was all water, liquid, all the time. So, I would, wake up in the middle of the night over and over again, but I would feel it. I'd feel like that pressure, and I'm like, wow, good job. Like even in my sleep, you're doing great work, sphincter. Doing great work, anus. So anyway, I was very proud of that part of my body. So yeah, so he gave me these stop pooping pills. And he says if you stop pooping, stop taking the pills because it can really hurt you apparently. So if you stop before the end of the 3 days, just stop taking the pills. Don't take any more, please. They were very, very serious about these pills. So I needed to take all 6 pills all 3 days. But on that last pill, the fourth day, I had more solid poop. And that whole week, watching my diet, I had solid poop. It was like the body just forgot how to poop. So anyway, I just wanted to like bring that whole story up because there's actually a whole lot around that story. So number one, I was traveling for like 10 years and I hadn't lived not in the same room or the same building for more than, 4 months. That was the longest I'd ever been in one spot for 10 years. And most of that time, it would have been less than a month. So the body was feeling tired, and I knew it. And months leading up to this food poisoning, I had these sensations, these callings, like intuition hits, like my body telling me, my stomach was telling me like I wasn't liking the food as much as I used to. Things that didn't bother me before starting to bother me, like people, speaking English as a second language was starting to like really annoy me where I, would have to repeat myself and I was just getting tired of that, which was very new. I usually love the food and I wasn't loving the food. I was feeling these weird like cravings and desires to freaking like watch YouTube about cooking shows and how to bake this and how to cook that. And I was like, I never cared about cooking shows before, but I was just like, yeah, I want to learn. I want to make, I was like insanely obsessed in my head about wanting to cook food. And I cook food and it's fine, but it's like I've never had a strong desire for it. So I was like, oh yeah, I want to look at the best mashed potatoes and oh, look at that rosemary salt. I want to make that. And oh, look at the sourdough bread. And wow, look at that vegan sandwich this guy's making. I want that. And then I had all these cravings for childhood food that like really, I had a very unhealthy upbringing, the classic American diet of cereal and milk and Pop-Tarts and tasty cakes, if you know any of these things. Just basically here, have a dessert for breakfast every day. And I was craving like cereal. I haven't eaten cereal in forever, and so I was able to find cornflakes when I was in Nepal, and they have really great dairy stores there. So the milk is like fresh from the cow. You have to boil it yourself to make sure it's not going to make you sick. And I love that stuff about these Asian countries. Everything's so local. Anyway, tangent. So so the body was telling me I was missing home. I've never missed home. Never. I was like, oh, I would like to be home. I would like to go home. I would like to say hi to my friends. I would like to say hi to my parents and show everybody how much I love them by being home. But I never missed it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, before I even got dysentery and stuff, I was like missing home. I was feeling weird food cravings. I was watching food cooking things about like Western food very specifically. And then after I was like really sick, I started craving all these old childhood things, and I was like, wow. And then I was talking, talking with my stomach because you can interact with your different body parts and different voices. You have the voice that says, "Yeah, I want to go run," and you have the voice that says, "Yeah, I want to just relax and stay in bed watching." YouTube or whatever, and it's like, whoa, there's like these two parts of me, and you can talk to each of them, and they can have a conversation. Similarly, you can talk to the different parts of your body. And so I was talking to my stomach, connecting to that, and being like, "Hey, what's going on, buddy?" Um, and it told me like, "Hey, I want to go home," and I was like, "Okay," and I could feel it, and I was feeling it, and I was like, whatever this intuition is, higher self, and I was like, I know, we need to be still. I got it, I get you, but I'm trying to find enlightenment over here, and we're just gonna hang out in India for another year. No big deal, and then we're gonna stop. And so, anyway, body said, no, right now, buddy. We're gonna go home right now. If you don't want to listen the easy way, then we're gonna make you listen the hard way by making you lose 45 pounds. So anyway, for, so, so down to 120, I take the constipation pills, and then I have to watch my diet so carefully. I watched it for like a week. I was really good, and then I got like some cravings for unhealthy food, just like some tortilla chips. But I caved and I ate the processed food that I knew I shouldn't eat, and then boom, back to diarrhea because there's bacteria in my gut that just completely, there was bacteria that causes all of this reaction and the poor processing and the diarrhea, and they love processed food and they love sugar, um, and they reproduce way more rapidly than the good gut bacteria that you want in there. So anyway, I ate the things that the bad bacteria likes, and so my diarrhea came back. Um, so anyway, but when I watched my diet very carefully, I was able to start changing my poop and changing my health. And I was crazy. I was so malnourished, but luckily my blood work showed everything was at like the lowest of the okay range. But as soon as I started eating and holding nutrition again, that was amazing. The amount of power I felt in my brain was an incredible. I felt this intense focus that like was missing forever. Where, I was just like so tired to do anything. It was so difficult. It was so exhausting to have like very focused effort and thought. And so this, as soon as that nutrition was starting to come in, it was crazy. I was so, like, the brain was hungry for, like, practice, for study, for knowledge. I could focus, on like a very detailed video, and I was reading, I could read a book and I could retain everything. I don't have that right now. I don't know what's going on now. That was like 7 months ago. And and I could just, yeah, it was amazing. I could just remember everything. That was wild, and I cannot replicate it yet. But something about there's that new surge of energy in the brain from being able to eat again. So anyway, I lost 45 pounds and I was very slowly. By the time I left Nepal, I came back to the USA. I had gained back about 10 pounds, luckily, because I did not want my mom to see me in that, what's the word, dilapidated state, where I looked like the classic pictures of like malnourished African children. I was so skinny, man. I had nothing. I had nothing. It was wild. Yeah, very wild. And so anyway, when I got home, I started working out again, and I went from a 40-pound weight down to a 5-pound weight. I couldn't even curl 8-pound weight. I had to start with 5 pounds. And even at that, I had to go so slow. And it still, even after recovering, it took like 6 months to like really start to get my energy back. And I'm still not where I think, not where I was beforehand, but I am getting back. And so I see, like, ooh, look at that, I have muscles. It's like, oh my God, I haven't had muscles in forever. And um, and so it's just remembering, you know, to take, to listen to your body and give yourself what you need. And sometimes it can take time. Nature things take time, and the body is nature. And so I took a lot of like probiotic supplements, started eating a lot of sauerkraut. I really had a clean diet for like 3 months when I got home to recover. And yeah, so but things like that can take time, and I did not appreciate how much time it really took, how much time it was going to take. The weight came back pretty quick. I went straight up to like 150, kaboom, and gained back 30 pounds around like super rapidly. And then like 5 pounds, I got to like, yeah, and then very slowly working my way back up. I'm still not at 160 yet, but working my way back up to 165. I'm pretty solid 155 now. Um, but it's just very slow. It's taking a little bit of time to get that energy back, to get that strength back. So I just started with walking and doing 5-pound weights and just walking around the block. I had to get an e-bike because my way of transport is bicycle, but it was just it was just so too much. I couldn't bicycle. So I went and got an e-bike, so it made it, just easier and possible to go more than, a couple miles. Um, and yeah, and I didn't even realize, how the body was still in recovery all that time. So until um, this past month when I was like, hey, wait a minute, I'm getting that energy and that strength back, a little bit of that drive and that like the joy of exercise and stuff is coming back. The joy of energy exertion, physical energy exertion. It's like, wow, yeah, I didn't even realize, how gone all of that was. So just a little message about listening to the body, listening to intuition, overcoming diversity, and um, and just allowing the time that is necessary, the time that is needed for you to um, make progress in whatever it is that you are making progress on. So thank you super much. Have a wonderful day and namaste. I see you.